What is going on, guys? So today I've got another video for you guys. This one's going to be a fun one because I'm going to be going to Pick and Pull, grabbing a few parts for this girl, and hopefully installing them. So on the shopping list for today, we've got a window, some fog lights, and a rear disc conversion for this thing. Hopefully we can find all three of those, and hopefully they all haven't been stripped from the car yet. There's only one in a Pick and Pull in Sherwood, so it's pretty far away, so I'm hoping that this trip's going to be worth it, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and hop in the IS, and we're going on a parts run. Let's do it. Go ahead and load up on tools. Get a little socket set going. We got a 1/4 inch one going. Of course, grab some ratchets. Grab an impact, pry bar, a hammer, and maybe a punch set. That should be it though. So I'm gonna load that up and let's get on the way. Here we go, Pick and Pull Sherwood. 44 minutes away. Let's do it. Alright guys, we have made it to Pick and Pull. Let's go on in and see if they have our parts. Row 43. That's what we need. This feels like I'm playing Pick and Pull Simulator. Oh god, this is hilarious. Right, here we go, row 43. Let's see what we can find. Oh my god, what? Somebody chopped this fucking thing? What the hell is that? Okay, no fog lights. We got a window that hopefully is good, and the rear brakes. So we looked out on those two things. Let's see if there's anything else that's worth a shit in here. It doesn't look like it. This looks pretty fucking trashed, but that's something. It's something. We can work with that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the rear brakes off of this thing and that driver's side window. Hopefully all the mounts on it are good, but we'll see. I got it done. I got the window and both of the rear brake assemblies out. You can see this front window mount is still intact. It was quite a feat getting it out of the door because this is a power window door and the window was rolled all the way up, so pretty much the two window mounts were right there, so it was almost impossible to get to. I had to completely drop the regulator and do that to get the window out, but we fucking got it. Let's go pay for it. Let's go home and put this shit on. There we go, boys. Let's get home. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but you see that bridge way over there? That bridge is in Portland, Oregon. A lot of the fucking sideshow people ended up actually closing that bridge down a while ago and just doing fucking mad burnouts on it. It was the craziest fucking shit. Everybody was fucking, it was like the middle of the night. They had stupid amounts of traffic behind them. They closed that bridge down and we're just doing donuts there. It was the fucking craziest shit. Like, it was on the news. It was fucking, it was everywhere. Alright, so it's official. We got our new rear brake assemblies along with our new driver's side window to replace this guy with a broken mount. So that should be awesome. I think that I'm going to go ahead and lift the car up, get the rear brakes put on there, and just make sure that everything works. So the disc brake e-brake cables are a little bit different than the drum brake cables. You can modify them a little bit to fit. I didn't really want to do that because the cables were already there, so I might as well have just taken them. So that's what I did. I'm gonna go ahead and just replace them all the way over here. There's a little disconnect right under the center console that I'll be able to hook the new e-brake cables up to. But other than that, I pretty much have everything to just slap them in and have disc brakes in the rear. You can see the backing plates are a little bit fucked up just from the car being a pick and pull. They usually just pick the cars up with forklifts and like put them on the ground with no wheels on. So that's kind of a given and it kind of sucks. But those backing plates are gonna have to get modified anyways because ultimately I'm not keeping the stock brakes on there. Although I am gonna be running them right now, the main thing that I needed was the backing plates to be able to even run a disc brake setup in the first place. Now, once I get the funds to do it, I want to swap it out to a set of Evo 8 Brembos front and rear. Just because I mean, like, you know, bigger brake setups are never a bad looking thing. So I definitely want to get the Brembos all around because that is an option on these. They're a little expensive though, so we'll see. We'll see when I'll be able to do that. I'm gonna have to do a lot of grinding to make sure that I can afford that. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the brakes and stuff on. I'm gonna go ahead and put the windows in, make sure everything's good. So I'm gonna set you guys up on a time lapse and I'm gonna go ahead and put all those parts on. So, first thing we try to put on, we already ran into an issue. That's kind of annoying. So if you guys, it's kind of hard to tell, but look at the mounting of these two things right here on that window. So this is the original window. On the one that I just got, they are slightly different. So the front hole, this one, mounts up to the regulator perfectly, but that rear one, it's like an inch off. So I've got a couple different things that I could do. I could see if I could figure out a way to make that work, get like a piece of metal in there and bolt it up to that. However, I kind of want to see if I can just take this mount off of this one without breaking the glue and hopefully be able to transfer it onto my old window. And that should be enough to get this one to work. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and try it, but I don't know how it's gonna work out. So we'll see. Alright, so now with the window installed, and I got the felt on the outside and the two little mounting tabs on the inside, you can hear it doesn't rattle around anymore when I close the door. I'm pretty sure that that was this mount. It was just the window was just fucking flopping around inside of the door. So that's cool. My car's never done that before. That's a huge thing that was actually like really annoying. Completely fixed now. The only issue with that is that when I put the window in, I forgot that the door handle has to go in first. So I did verify that I fixed it, but now I gotta take it all apart again just to put the fucking handle in. It's awesome. But I'm not mad about that. So this is the braking system we're working with right now. It's a rear drum setup, which is honestly in 2020 super antiquated. Like if it isn't a truck or something else, then there's no point in having drum brakes. So we're gonna get rid of those. I actually got the entire spindles, which technically you only need the disc backing plate and the calipers to be able to do the swap. I also grabbed the e-brake lines because they are different between the drum and the disc setups. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably just swap out the entire assembly because it's honestly way easier. All right, so now I have to disconnect the parking brake cable. I could technically probably do it from here, but there's not really a whole lot of point because I am going to be replacing it. So I'm just gonna disconnect it from inside the car. Alright, so now that we have the center console out of the car, you can see where the e-brake mechanism sits. So right here is where both of our new e-brake cables are going to connect to. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the airbag ECU right quick and get us some room to put the new cables in. Alright, so I got both of the e-brake cables exposed. So now I'm just going to go ahead and loosen up this nut so that this whole assembly will be able to come out. Then I'll go ahead and take these out of this and pull them out the back. So the nut's out. I can go ahead and pull that all the way out. These guys, you just slide to the side and pull them out of this little bracket. Now this is the part that we're actually going to replace. So these should just be able to slide out the back of this like that. So now those are going to be routed underneath the carpet on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and get those grommets out of there. So you guys can see the cables right here. I just have to take these little retainers out and pull them all the way off the line, and then I'll be able to push the grommets through and get the new ones in. Alright, now that these are out, you can really see the difference. We got a pretty small drum against a slightly larger rotor. The e-brake on this thing is inside of the top hat, so we're still going to keep that same e-brake functionality. You can see the cables are both coming with them. So you can kind of see that's the drum e-brake cable and that's the disc e-brake cable. They have a different way of actually getting put into the backing plate, so that's why we can't reuse them. So I went ahead and got the entire cable with it. You can see this backing plate is pretty chooched from having been put on the ground with no wheels. That's totally fine because I do plan on upgrading these to the Evo 8 rear calipers in the future, and those actually use quite a bit of a bigger rotor, so this outside part is going to have to come off anyways. So I think I might just cut it off now and save myself the hassle later. Alright guys, so I finished the other side. So now officially my rear disc conversion is completely done. Also, the window on that side did get the new mount put in, so that's officially the first two things off of the list. Now I couldn't actually put the brakes all the way together because the rear brake lines on the drum models and the disc models were actually different, and I didn't foresee that, so I didn't get the brake lines off the other car, which I really wouldn't have been able to do it because I didn't take the right wrenches to the junkyard when I did. But I ordered some. They're like $8 a piece from Costless, so I'm really not too sad about that. So those should be coming in within like the next few days, and once I do, I'll put them in, and this section will be completely done. I still have to go ahead and remove these backing plates, because at this point they scrape on the rotor pretty hard. But I have tried it. I hooked up the e-brake and everything. You guys can see both of those cables are hooked up and it works. It'll go up and it'll lock the brakes. So far that's pretty much it. All I have to do is get the new lines on, bleed it, and this section will be done. I'm not really quite sure what I'm going to start working on next. As you guys can see, I do have quite a long list of stuff, but I think I'm going to probably just start at the top and work my way down, and hopefully by the end of it this thing will be restored to its previous glory, which actually it's probably going to be quite a bit better than its previous glory. It's going to take some time to do, but I am going to get this thing back on the road and actually looking good. So I'm stoked about that, because there aren't really a whole lot of DSMs out there, and the people that do have them don't really drive them too much because they are pretty notorious for not being very reliable, but that's not going to be the case with this one. I got a few tricks up my sleeve that are going to make this thing an absolute ripper. So if you guys are stoked to see that, then make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments anything you guys think that I should do to it, and I'll see you guys next time.